All right, everybody, let's welcome to the stage the Executive Director of the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, Angelica Salas.
Good morning, everyone. I just really want to say how beautiful this room looks from up here. It is amazing to see each and every one of you. It is an incredibly powerful room. And I just want us to, one more time, give it a really round of applause of appreciation to Lucero and for Sonia for that just powerful, powerful welcome. That really situated us in history. It situated us in the beauty and the power of Latina women. So just really want to say thank you so much for that. And I thank you for making me part of this incredibly historic event. Once again, my name is Angelica Salas. I am the Executive Director of CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. Our mission is to ensure that immigrants are included in every aspect of society, that we create a just society in which we truly are seen and we are valued. We advance the human and the civil rights of immigrants and refugees in this city, in this state, and in this country. And we have a long way to go. But I stand here because of Rosie Astorga, my mother. My mother, who had 5 days education when she came from Durango, Mexico. But she had tenacity, and she believed that my life and the life of my sisters, the life of my brother, could be so much better. And with my father, Seferino Salas, who had 6th grade education, fought so hard in order for us to have the opportunities that they never dreamed of. They would tell us the stories of how they would work day in and day out as children in order for them to have food on their table. But they sacrificed, and one of their first acts of sacrifice was coming to this country. They came here as undocumented workers, worked in garment factories, worked in construction sites, and taught me to work and learn to sew. And my mother would sit me at the sewing machine and she would say, there are choices in this life. One choice is to not pursue your education and sit here with me and sew. And I would sew with her. And the other choice is for you to take advantage of everything that is possible, that we are making possible for you to go on to school. And I was like, I keep sewing or I keep reading. And I read a lot. And I am here. But I remember why I'm here. I always think of I see my mom, I know what my mom has gone through, and I know that my life is better because of her. And many of you in this room are in the same situation. You too stand here, sit here, have been able to pursue your education, your lawyers, your legends in your own fields, because there were women, your mothers or other women, other sisters who said, I believe that women can do much better. And I believe in Latinas. And I believe that we, not only through our empowerment, will empower ourselves and have better opportunities, but because we are empowered, we can empower our families and we can empower our communities. And the last thing I want to share with you is just some, it's an incredible honor. I get to introduce an incredible, incredible woman. And I want to just say to you that in the last couple of months, I have had the privilege, the honor, as part of CHIRLA, to welcome recent arrivals, families that are being sent to us here from Texas with a cruel intention, not with the benefit to say or to think about the well-being of the people on the bus, but to use the people on the bus for malevolent and cruel intentions. But when they arrive here, we receive them with dignity, with coordination, and organization. And I talk about the honor of doing this work because after our 39th bus this week, In every bus, I see families and I see little girls. And little girls, they're 1-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and I also see teenagers. And when I see them, I see what their lives will become. And I see that room full of children, those little girls, with rooms like this, that they are going to do great things for their families, for themselves, for this nation, and that they will have the solutions to make our country more just. And so that is why I have such the honor of introducing Chief Justice Patricia Guerrero, who is the daughter of Mexican immigrants. She is the 29th Chief Justice of California. She was sworn into office on January 2nd, 2023, making history as the first Latina to serve as California's Chief Justice. Chief Justice Guerrero was nominated to office by Governor Gavin Newsom in August 2022, unanimously confirmed by the Commission on Judicial Appointments that same month, and overwhelmingly approved by voters in the November 2022 general election. The California State Bar Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission rated Chief Justice Guerrero as exceptionally well qualified for the position prior to her public confirmation hearing. As Chief Justice, she shares the Commission on Judicial Appointments and the Judicial Council of California, the administrative policy-making body of the state courts. And in her first State of the Judiciary address, Chief Justice Guerrero highlighted her commitment to a more diverse, inclusive judicial branch, and as well as technology that helped preserve access to justice for Californians during the pandemic. Chief Justice Guerrero also adopted the Power of Democracy civic learning initiative and has been active in Judges in the Classroom. This is a civics program which engages schools and encourages students to learn about the role of the judiciary. Prior to becoming Chief Justice of California, she first joined the California Supreme Court as an Associate Justice in March of 2022, making her the first Latina to serve in the state's High Court. As you can imagine, the list of accomplishments is incredibly, incredibly long. And it's important for me to also mention that she proudly speaks of her history, speaks of her parents, and all that we are as a community that allows us to get to these places so that we can open up more opportunity and possibility. So please, it is my honor to introduce to you Chief Justice Patricia Guerrero.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much for that kind, warm welcome. I am so thrilled and honored to be here with all of you at this symposium, which is focused on all the ways Latinas can transform the nation. I can't believe you can fit this all in the amount of time allotted. You could talk forever about this topic. For me, this past year has been transformative too. 1 year, 2 weeks, and 4 days, roughly. That is how long I have been serving in this exciting new role as Chief Justice of California. So by now, I should have it all figured out, right? Well, not quite. This is definitely a long process of learning and growing. But as my parents taught me, nothing that is worth doing comes easy. I have been embracing all of the many new responsibilities and privileges that come with leading the largest law-trained judicial system in the world. And I do not profess to have all the answers, but what I hope to do is share with you a little bit about my experience since joining the California Supreme Court, in the hopes that it might encourage some of you here to pursue your own passions and dreams, perhaps maybe also your goals of becoming an attorney, a judge, or serving the public in some other capacity. I would like to start with my own family's dreams and goals and briefly touch upon the path that I took to serve the public on the bench. When my parents came to this country from Mexico, like so many others, they sacrificed and they struggled so we could have a better life and options for success that were not available to them. They taught me and my sister that anything is possible with hard work and perseverance, combined with an education and equal opportunities. As many of you know, I grew up in a small rural area near the Mexican border, the Imperial Valley. It was a largely Hispanic community that faced and faces today many challenges, including high poverty, unemployment, and illiteracy rates. It may seem contradictory to some, but I know that many of you here can attest to the fact that growing up surrounded by these types of challenges can serve you well. Because despite not having much material belongings, I had the boundless support and love of my family and community, the encouragement of my teachers, and an inner drive and hope to make sure that my parents' sacrifices were worth it. Nothing can truly prepare anyone, I don't think, for every aspect of the work of being Chief Justice. I'm sure the same is true for the work of being the first Latina Chief Judge of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, who you will hear from later this evening, a state senator, a state assembly member, and the list goes on of all of the talented women who are participating in this symposium. These are all challenging roles. But to the young Latinas in the audience, I want to tell you, do not discount the importance of all your life experiences that you have already had that prepare you well for any challenge that you might face in any career that you decide to pursue. For anyone who started working at an early age so that you could help pay your way through school as a first-generation student. For anyone who's seen their parents working long, grueling hours in difficult working conditions so that your life could hopefully be better. For anyone who knows what it is like to live paycheck to paycheck. For anyone who has helped to translate for a parent or a loved one, or fought for them to be treated with the dignity and respect they deserve as they tried to navigate through legal, medical, or other unfamiliar institutions. And for anyone who has been doubted, dismissed, put down, or overlooked, you should stand up and share what you have learned as a result of these and similar experiences, because your voices matter. Your strength and resilience matter. And you have the ability to effectuate important change in the organizations that you decide to join. I have been trying to do the same. In addition to the challenging and rewarding work of being a member of the California Supreme Court, I have also made an effort to share my family's story in the hopes that it will resonate with some of the people I have had the privilege of meeting over the past year. I often walk away inspired and reinvigorated by those I have met, especially when they share some of their experiences with me. What is most inspiring to me is the energy, hope, enthusiasm, talent, and promise reflected in those like the young Latinas in this audience. Applause to you. You inspire me to want to do everything we can to make sure women of color and people of color realize that there is a viable path to the state and federal bench. The number one goal of the Judicial Council of California is access, fairness, diversity, and inclusion. We're committed to ensuring that qualified candidates apply to the bench and to supporting them once they are here. For anyone who's interested in becoming a judge in California, I encourage you to review our diversity toolkit and mentorship programs. They're available online, and they help to demystify the judicial appointment process and help potential candidates like you assess whether your professional backgrounds and temperament make you a good fit for the bench. Our Judicial Mentor Program in particular is a statewide undertaking between the executive and judicial branches to develop and recruit qualified and diverse judicial applicants for the state's courts. And even as a student, you can help make a real impact in increasing access to justice. One example is our Justice Corps program, where courts train undergraduates and recent graduates to provide help to self-represented litigants who visit our self-help centers. Through these and other efforts, we have seen promising improvement, and our courts are now more reflective of the rich diversity of the communities that we serve. For the 17th straight year since we have been keeping track of this data, there's an increase, and now we have female judicial officers that constitute 39.9% of our judges. And importantly, the number of Asian, Black, and Hispanic judges has doubled during that same time. Thanks. I think it's also a credit to Governor Gavin Newsom and someone who I hope many of you know. If not, please get to know him, Secretary Luis Cespedes. During the governor's first 4 years in office, he has appointed over half of his appointments have been female judges, and 59% have been persons of color. There is no doubt that more work, however, remains to be done for all of us. I remain committed to building the pipeline of future leaders to our courts. I know everyone here is also committed to the same objective of empowering the next generation of Latina leaders. It took over 172 years for a Latina to be appointed to the California Supreme Court. It's shocking when you think of that in our history. While I am proud and honored to be the first, I also know that there have been many other talented and deserving candidates who could have been the first long before me. I am grateful to those trailblazers who have helped pave the way for me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be with you here today. I look forward to what the future holds. I look forward to the second, third, and fourth Latinas who are appointed to serve as Chief Justice of California and throughout the nation. And I look forward to seeing everyone in this room apply your own experiences, pursue your own dreams, and transform the nation for the benefit of all of us and future generations. Thank you.
And before you leave the stage, I really want to present to you, on behalf of the Symposium Committee, I would like to present with you the commemorative art piece created by artist Dulce Maria Lopez. Dulce is an immigrant transnational artist and mobilizer from rural Mexico. She is a UC Berkeley alum and a current UCLA grad student. Through this art piece, Dulce celebrates a diverse, self-identified women of color who are transforming patriarchal political structures, and with it inspiring the future and rewriting her and their stories. And I wish that, is Dulce here? So I really want to say thank you to you for your artwork, and we want to say, everybody here wants to say thank you to you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. Thank you. You guys have touched my heart. Thank you.